group is taking a theatrical aspect by using role play to present this cultural presentation of Native Alaska. Before we begin, I want to share that I had the pleasure of talking with John Hageman, a curator of Indigenous arts and initiatives at the Anchorage Museum. Much of his experience with the healthcare system and Alaska Native people is because he is an Alaskan Native. He shared a lot about Alaska and how it related to healthcare with me.
He shared that the first thing to understand is that Alaska is massive, far larger than the lower 48 often realize. If you place Alaska over the United States, the northern part would reach Wisconsin, the southern part would touch Alabama, the eastern side would land in Georgia, and the western edge would sit in California. That geography shapes everything: access to food, supplies, fuel, and especially healthcare.
Because our population is small and spread out, most hospitals are centralized in Anchorage, Fairbanks, and Geneva. Smaller communities might have clinics, but many villages, some with only 50 people, have no medical facility at all. This means travel rules every aspect of care. A routine surgery or specialist visit can require flying hundreds of miles. Something simple like a colonoscopy or cardiology appointment might take a full week for someone traveling from Western Alaska, all depending on weather and flight availability.
Alaska Native people are also incredibly diverse, 229 distinct nations, each with unique traditions, beliefs, and languages. That means a single central hospital must serve many different cultural needs. Challenges include respecting spiritual practices, providing familiar traditional foods like salmon and marine mammals, and ensuring clear communication. Many Alaska Native people in Western Alaska speak Yupik and Inupiat as their first language, which create barriers in medical settings.
In short, Alaska's vast, harsh weather and culture diversity makes delivering routine healthcare incredibly complex. By understanding these challenges, it is first step to providing respectful, effective care for Alaska Native communities.
As we begin our production, I hope you follow along and enjoy as we embark on this wonderful journey together.
This is a story about a group of travel nurses from Alabama who take a contract in Alaska at a small village clinic surrounded by snow, where they go on a journey of learning the culture of Native Alaska in a small rural area. They are excited to dive deep into a culture rich in tradition and resilience.
Wow, it's so peaceful out here. I bet healthcare must be different.
Yes, Nurse Savannah, healthcare is different. Alaska is home to over 200 indigenous tribes and more than 20 distinct languages, each shaped by the land and climate. Across the state, several major cultural regions reflect this diversity. In the Arctic and western coast are the Inuit, meaning the real people, and the Yupik, meaning genuine people. The term Eskimo is avoided today because it is labeled and given by outsiders of the Alaskan community. In the Aleut Islands are the Aleut or Yungan people, meaning the people. In the interior are the Athabascan groups, many of whom call themselves Dean, meaning people. And in the southeast Alaska are the Tlingit, Haiti, and Trimshian. These three are from the Pacific Northwest nations with shared traditions, but their own languages and social systems. And also, nurse, you will address an elder by their titles such as elder, sir, ma'am, or anything else other than those are considered disrespectful.
So all those tribes are different but connected?
Exactly. They have shared cultural values such as respect for elders as holders of knowledge, community cooperation over individualism, substance living in land and sea, and spiritual connections to nature and ancestors. Birth is what brings new life into this world. Let's join our nurse as she talks to Elder Priscilla to get a better understanding of what that looks like in Native Alaskan culture.
May I sit, Elder Priscilla? I would like your insight on some of that.
Of course, go ahead and take a seat.
Asking permission to sit is a sign of respect in Native Alaska, as well as indirect eye contact and silence.
I read that childbirth is considered sacred here. Can you tell me more about that?
Yes, so among the Yupik and the Inupiat, childbirth is seen as a natural sacred process. Women typically are lying sideways or squatting positions, allowing for minimal medical intervention. After birth, care traditions include drinking cranberry tea for healing, applying seal oil to the umbilical cord, and hand-making baby clothing from animal skins.
So as nurses, it's important we respect family involvement in traditional birthing practices?
Yes, so since many villages are so remote, midwives depend on intuition, touch, and trust rather than technology. This reminds nurses to honor cultural traditions, support natural birth, and give patient-centered, cultural, respectful care.
That reminds me, cultural sensitivity starts with asking, not assuming. We'll now venture into cultural beliefs and religion.
I heard that many Native Alaskans blend Christianity with traditional spiritual beliefs.
Oh yeah, that's true. It's due to the fact Russian Orthodox missionaries arrived from Russia during the fur trade in 1794.
So when we provide care, we should allow for spiritual expression.
You know, with the blending of the two of the traditional beliefs and the new belief, a lot of them believe that prayer and song promote healing emotionally and hope. Smudging, which is the burning of sacred herbs such as sage and sweetgrass to cleanse of negative spiritual energy. In sacred herbs, sage, tobacco, cedar, and sweetgrass, they have natural remedies. And some hospitals actually employ traditional medical practitioners from other tribes.
Just like religion or certain cultural practices, Native Alaska has certain health beliefs or practices that Elder Savannah is going to share with us.
I notice patients sometimes prefer traditional healers. How do we work with that?
We respect it. Traditional healings include healing hands, a therapeutic massage, prayer, group or individual, cleansing, burning of sage, song and dance, drumming circles, cultural sensitivity and support counseling, talking circles.
So it's about balance rather than just treating symptoms.
Yes, it means that traditional healers provide special attention and mental, spiritual, and social needs of American Indian, Alaskan Native individuals and communities that are held at high regard to their knowledge and role of pre-contact contemporary American Indian, Alaskan Native societies.
As nurses, they learn that Western medicine and traditional healing can complement one another when related to sickness and medication used culturally.
Patients' infection got worse because the weather delayed transport. It's hard to imagine these conditions daily.
That's why many rely on home remedies or community health aids.
Remember, our people have always survived. There are common illnesses for Native Alaskans to look out for: chronic liver disease, heart disease, diabetes, and CPTA1, which is carotene transferase deficiency.
But some illnesses now, like diabetes, come from diet changes.
Yes, environmental health means factors such as air, waste, water management, climate change impact, public health challenges, and economical and social factors.
A topic that is just as big as environmental health is their culture in their food, and how understanding it is very important to be able to give the best healthcare possible.
Wow, these foods like salmon, seal oil, and berries are just so nutrient rich.
Yes, traditional foods are rich in omega-3s, vitamins, healthy fats that protect the heart and keep the body strong in harsh climates. When food is replaced with processed diets, we see more diabetes, heart disease, and obesity.
So meal planning should respect cultural preferences, right?
Yes, when nurses honor traditional foods and include them in teaching nutritional plans, they honor cultural identity. Food heals the body, and the spirit learning to share the balance.
Okay, I'll remember that when teaching nutrition here means honoring culture.
Last but certainly not least, a big part of understanding the Native Alaskan culture is to understand death, dying, and afterlife rituals.
Elder patients, how do Native Alaskans view death?
Death is a transition, not an end. We believe that everyone has a time to go, and we should respect that. We do not believe that we should try to stop the process of death, but instead let it happen naturally.
So respecting that wish is part of culturally competent care.
And post-death rituals, do they differ?
Yes, some cultural groups have ceremonies to commemorate the passing of a loved one. This can be potlatches, where a family prepares a feast for guests. A funeral potlatch is right after the funeral, and a memorial potlatch is within 1 year of the funeral. They last 3 days typically and give the family time to grieve.
Now the nurses realize that honoring death rituals is important as treating an illness.
We came here to work, but we all learned something so much deeper. We learned that healthcare isn't just procedures, it's relationships.
We learned that culture teaches us how to heal, not to cure.
You have listened with your hearts. When you care with respect, you carry our life forward.
This group of resilient, well-rounded, and talented travel nurses were able to fully understand and incorporate cultural competence in their nursing practice during their stay here in rural Alaska. They did this by becoming aware of their own biases, learning to assess their patients' cultural needs, gaining knowledge about the cultural differences here, engaging directly with their patients who are very diverse, and they've showed the desire to become culturally competent. I hope our production has brought to you a fun and captivating experience as we embarked on this journey together to learn more about Native Alaska. Thank you.
Her necklace, yes, perfect.
You're just like